Let's recall what we learned before. The whole set of possible measurement outcomes forms the basis in the state space. For the photon polarization, we have only two possible measurement outcomes. The photon passes through the polarizer, or the photon reflects from the polarizer. Now it means to us that the state space for the photon polarization has a basis of exactly two elements, which means that this state space is two-dimensional. This kind of systems whose state space has exactly two dimensions are called qubits. We already used this term before in the week 1 when we discussed why qubits are so powerful. Now we finally met them. As we know that polarization of photon is a two-state system, thus it is a qubit. This optical instrument, the polarizer, allows us to demonstrate one more important thing: our freedom in choosing the basis, or the observable. The choice of the basis is achieved simply by rotation of the polarizer. You can place it, for example, like this, with its optical axis being horizontal. In this case, we have two basis vectors in our state space. E1 is a unit basis vector which corresponds to the state of a photon with horizontal polarization. These photons are allowed to pass through the polarizer with probability 1. And E2 is the second unit basis vector which corresponds to the state of a photon with vertical polarization. These photons are reflected from the polarizer with the probability 1. All other photons, as all other states, can be represented as a weighted sum of these two basis vectors. Let's denote E1 as 0 in these strange brackets called Dirac's brackets, and E2 as 1, again in the Dirac's brackets. Dirac's brackets like these are used to denote vectors in the state space. We will introduce and discuss them in more detail on the next week. Now, what if we rotate our polarizer by angle pi divided by 4, like this? Now the basis of our measurement is going to be completely different. The photons that pass through the polarizer with the probability 1 are now not horizontal nor vertical. In the terms of our previously introduced basis, they will have the state 0 plus 1. And since we remember that both 0 and 1 are unit vectors, we want our new basis vector also to be unit. As you can see from this picture, the length of this vector, 0 plus 1, is square root of 2. So we can normalize it by dividing it by square root of 2. This new basis, which we obtained by rotation of initial basis by the angle of 45 degrees, is very important in quantum computing. So its vectors also have special names. This vector we have just written down, we will call vector plus. And it corresponds to the photons that pass with the probability 1, this rotated polarizer. And those photons which reflect from this rotated polarizer with the probability 1 will correspond to the state minus, defined like this. Now these two vectors, plus and minus, also form the basis in the state space. And they also define the measurement procedure. But it is different measurement procedure, since the basis is different. So, as we can see in the case of light polarization, we can attune our measurement process or choose the measurement basis simply by rotation, this wonderful thing, the linear polarizer.